Hey guys, my name is Jason, and I work with Arkansas Traveler Hobbies out of Bald Knob, Arkansas, and I am an authorized Soundtraxx installer through our hobby shop. And I've had a few of our friends through Arkansas Traveler Hobbies contact me and say, "Hey, you're building a new layout. Why don't you show us some videos what you're doing?" So I decided to create a YouTube channel, and so I'm hoping to share my knowledge, both operations, scenery, and tech installations, whether it's decoders, sound car, you name it. So I'm going to show you what I have currently got set up here in just a couple of minutes. But first, I want to give you a history as to what I'm modeling and why. I have decided to model an HO scale. Um, Mr. Craig Christensen, the owner of Arkansas Traveler Hobbies, he mostly specializes in O, so I try to cover that HO area a little bit more. Um, but basically, I don't have enough space to do O scale, which O scale is pretty awesome in my opinion. N for me is just a little too small, so I want that little happy medium, and I went with HO, and I've been doing model trains, I want to say, since 2008, maybe 2007. But I just basically started off with just a regular 4x8 sheet of plywood with one single oval track and one little siding, and I just watched the train go round and round. Now I've decided to build this new layout, which is going to be 18 and a half feet long by 16 feet wide, and it's going to be 3 levels, point to point. So I will have a balloon loop on the bottom on one end, helix up to the second level, then a helix up to the third level, and then a balloon loop at the top. So that way I can run either point to point, or I can, just run it in a continuous loop. I have decided to model the St. Louis Southwestern, or formerly known as Cotton Belt route. I had a lot of family members growing up in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. That was a major rail hub. The Cotton Belt had big hump yard there. Now it's owned by Union Pacific. It's about 45 minutes southeast of Little Rock. So the Cotton Belt route ran from East St. Louis, Illinois, all the way down to Tyler, Texas, and Pine Bluff was in the middle. So Pine Bluff had a lot of operations there as far as yards. Like I said, I had a lot of family members work with them. So growing up as a kid, my parents and my grandparents would take me out, and we'd just go sit over by the hump yard and watch them hump the train cars down. It was really cool. The other neat thing is the Arkansas Railroad Museum is located in Pine Bluff, where the last steam locomotive, the 819, was built, and it still sits there now. Maybe one of these days they can get it up and going. I would really like to see that, but it's a lot of the people that know the steam technology, they're dead and gone now. So unfortunately, so we'll see if that ever happens. But I'm mostly modeling Cotton Belt and Southern Pacific. Cotton Belt was a subsidiary of Southern Pacific. That's why a lot of their locomotive paint schemes are the same, and the same with as far as rolling stock too. And then I also are going to model just a very little bit of Ashley Drew Northern. I went to college down in Monticello, University of Arkansas Monticello, and Ashley Drew Northern ran from Crossett, Arkansas up to Monticello, Arkansas. So I got to see a little bit of that as well at the end of their days. So let me show you what I've got, and I'm going to go ahead and forewarn you, please excuse my messy garage because that's where it's located. But I will show you what I have done, and I plan to try to upload videos as often as possible, so that way you can see my continuous progress. So hold on, and I will show you what I have. Okay, everybody, so let's start off with my little desk. So I have a desk here that I do all my decoder installations, pre-soldering for tortoise switches, signaling, basically anything and everything. Just found out yesterday on my 12th anniversary that my wife got me an airbrush kit. So hopefully I'll get to start doing a little bit of weathering as well. So starting on my layout, here we have a balloon loop that I have switched here. And this balloon loop is basically going to act as one end of the the rail line. Now, I told you that I have, or I can't remember if I told you or not, but I do have a double track main, and it will be single directional. So that way, if I want to run just a endless train and just run it back and forth, I don't have to worry about, it running into other ones. Now, the spacing between my track is 2 inches. So it's a 2-inch space. And I do have some spacers that I have 3D printed. And these would be them. So basically, I can just set that on my track and space it as I nail and go, and it slides down fairly easily. My yard, so this is the opening of the yard. I've installed some Atlas curve switches. Those things are pretty neat in my opinion. And I have literally 5 tracks, which this track here is just going to be a straight runaround track. As if I come over here, we have more tracks assigned to it. This will be my car shops. The car shops, I'm thinking about adding a 3rd track in there, and if I add another switch, I'll have to add it where that GP35 is sitting. Then we have, this is the other end of the yard. We have a number 6 going to a double turnout, and I'll have 2 tracks running over to the hole that has been pre-cut for my turntable. I do have my turntable, it's just not in place yet. The 2 buildings over there, machine shop, roundhouse. Roundhouse is actually in place. Machine shop will be between the one of those 2 tracks that are not put down yet. The 3rd track coming off of that double turnout is the caboose track. Now, one of the things that I have done as far as my switches, instead of using number 4s, I went with number 6s. And to make everything fit properly, sometimes you got to cut your switches down. So if you notice here, I have cut down the straight end of the number 6 switch, and that allows me to run my switches closer together, which allows me to get the proper track spacing that I need. So like I said, between each of the tracks is a 2-inch spacing, except the main here and the track that this passenger consists is sitting on, that is a 3-inch spacing. All right. Something else, if you have compressed space, that really helps is implementing double slips and single slips. That's basically, they act as 2 switches combined, and it really helps with a lot of operations in a tighter space. And then coming out of the yard, we will go towards the helix that goes up to level 2. I am in the process of working on that. It is a working process. It's easier said than done. There's some YouTubers out there that do have some good videos on how to create a helix. Now, as far as extra levels, I have drawn 2 lines on this wall here. The bottom line here is going to be where the next level is going to be, and then of course this will be the top level up here. So this is what I'm currently working on. I've got a long way to go as I have not started any scenery. I will probably start my scenery over on the balloon side there, and then work my way through the yard up the helix as I keep, doing a little bench work here and doing track work as well. And just kind of, if you try to do everything all at once, you get overwhelmed, and, it's not a good thing to do. So try to work little pieces at a time, little segments. I even though I don't really have it to where I can functionally run a train, I can always, pull a train in the yard track, and I can go through the balloon loop. So I do have that wired up, and I will post a video of that. So I will do that. Other than that, that's pretty much all I've got. Please subscribe, hit that bell for notifications as I keep updating videos, and I will try to at least put 1 video up a week. Probably every Sunday is when I will put one up. And, if, please comment, thumbs up, thumbs down, let me know how I'm doing. So that way, hey, you're doing a great job, or hey, you might need to improve on this. I'm always good about taking positive criticism. Other than that, that's all I've got. I hope you enjoy what I'm working on, and like I said, I will try to keep more videos coming. Thanks, guys.